So this has to get recorded because this is a few and far between thing. Very rarely will I ever be out here at sunrise. I am just not that person. But it just so happens that I fell asleep yesterday at 5. I was so hot from being in the garden that I had to lay down. And I woke up at 2:30. 2:30. So I am awake. I figured out that these were not pumpkins. These are not pumpkins. These are butternut. Not butternut, excuse me. Goodness gracious, it's too early to think, you guys. Not butternut. Yeah, butternut. I was thinking acorn. Yep, those are butternut squash. And look at these big, beautiful blooms in here. That's an ugly leaf, but he got dried out the other day. Look at these big, beautiful blooms. If you guys ever see curling on your leaves like this, that's also protection from heat and water. You could give them some water. I'm going to this morning. It's going to be a hot one today. Got lots of blooms on this guy, but curling leaves, heat and water. Little hound dog. Look at this, the sun coming up over there, just barely. Beautiful. I'm going to take a picture. What else do we have? How are you doing? My cucumbers need to start trailing so their tendrils can grab. These guys are going to climb up the arbor here and give me a cucumber arch. Unfortunately, it looks like there's cucumbers all the way over there, and they're not going to make it over here. So I'm going to have vining cucumbers, I think. These guys are so tall and big. What do you look like in here? Not a whole lot of flowers yet. Not a whole lot of blooms. Big old plants though. They're coming in down here. Lots of blooms down in here. So I'll be ready to go. The peas are not loving it. It really is too hot for these peas. They are not loving it. Also, not a whole lot of flowers on the peas either. This is corn. This is corn. Corn. This is a dwarf variety of sweet corn. It's a bantam corn. So they're not going to grow as tall as normal corns. But they will still have the same amount of ears, from what I understand. We've been trying to prop this one guy up long enough to finish developing his seeds. It'll turn almost inside out, but he's getting a little discolored there, so it might be time to pull him. I do have some green beans. Yes, Baka. Some green beans in here. They're not looking overly happy. And this is a different kind of garden. This is a wild garden. It's an organic garden. We don't do a whole lot of pesticides or anything in here, or herbicides. A lot of this dirt came from just various different composting areas. Over here is a lot of dirt from some of my clients' yards that had a lot of pine trees and just had a lot of debris that needed to be removed that was heavy. So I brought it home and put it in my bins and my boxes and amended it. So it looks like I've got a lot of nitrogen going on. I've got big, beautiful plants, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of blossoms. I might have to do a balance out here. But we do have some yellow squash down here that should be ready to go soon. This is also another vining plant right here. This might be pumpkin or butternut squash. The leaves are different though. We can see that the butternut squash here has variegated leaves. A lot of people get concerned because they're used to seeing squash leaves that look like this or big like this. that are all green, and sometimes they see this variegation and they think that it's a disease called powdery mildew, and you can tell that it's not because it doesn't rub off. It doesn't rub off, and it's consistent patterning through all of the leaves, whereas this guy over here, again, all green. But we look at this guy, this is a yellow squash, so it's not a zucchini, it's not a patty pan, but we look in here and you see this right here. You lick it and rub it, it doesn't come off. So that also is variegation for this particular variety, and you can see that it's consistent throughout all of it. So they'll all have a different type of patterning, so don't get concerned unless you can lick your finger and rub it and it goes away. It's not powdery mildew. And this is also corn in here. All of these sunflowers are about to get cut back, but you guys, do not get rid of it. I don't know, can you see this is a sunflower stalk that has been reused. This is a sunflower stalk that's been reused. Sunflower stalk, sunflower stalk. And I take them and I kind of hide them off to the back and I let them dry straight. And they end up being the best yard poles for supporting your plants. So cut it down at the base, strip all the foliage off, and then cut it in half, and you end up getting decent sized poles for supporting your plants. And that's what I use them for. So all of these are going to end up getting cut down, turned into poles and supports, trellises and whatnot. Beautiful flower arrangements. Collect some seeds for next year. And then this guy, we are going to turn into sunflower seeds. It's not quite ready yet though. Pilot.